Let's unbox this 49-inch LG television. Hey everyone, welcome back to Clueless Dad. Today we're going to unbox this LG 49-inch UHD 4K television. This is the 49UN7100PCA model. I think that's the exact model number. It goes for about 5,500 Hong Kong. Here in Hong Kong, that's about $720, so getting a bit pricey. You may remember about a year ago I unboxed a 49-inch Samsung television, which was actually the NU7100 as opposed to the UN7100. I don't know, I guess that's a coincidence. But anyway, I really like that television. That's the one in my office, and I would have loved to have bought another one like that. That thing cost about $400 or $500. This one is, yeah, it's like a good $200-300 extra. But unfortunately that one is discontinued. They now have a 50-inch Samsung, which is a lot more expensive. So much for progress. But anyway, I ended up getting this LG one. There's also some similar, obviously lots of other models in the same price range and whatnot, but there was a Sony one, and when was the last time I bought anything from Sony? But there was a Sony one for a pretty good price, same features almost, except it didn't have the Apple AirPlay. And that's one of the things I actually use the most on the Samsung one at work, obviously for meetings and stuff. And I figure with the iPad and the kids and stuff, having that feature on this guy will be pretty useful here at home. So that was actually one of the reasons I didn't get the Sony. The other one was it is out of stock and I wanted to get it this week. I didn't want to wait. So anyway, let's give this guy an open and then we'll see what we find inside. So I should note, for the first time probably ever, I am actually opening this box virgin, straight from the factory, opening it. Because normally if you buy this in a store in Hong Kong, they force you in the store, even if it's a cell phone, anything expensive and electronic, you have to open it, turn it on, make sure it works, which obviously sucks for the unboxing. But anyway, in this case they delivered it and there was another guy who was going to come and install it, and I just said don't come, and I like hung up on it. So for some reason got away without opening it and checking it. So it's a surprise. It's like undiscovered country. Anyway, let's get going. Power lead. This is the stand, a stand. Here's the other stand. Okay, so the hard part is because I'm by myself, I've got to lift this thing out without dropping it. So I'm going to put this actually down on the ground so I can stand behind it a little bit better. And of course they recommend that you have 2 people do this. Here is our manual. Here's our remote control. We'll take a look at that more in a second. So I guess that's for wrapping up the cord. These must be for the stand legs. Some Bexel batteries. Never heard of Bexel. Here we have our Chinese English bilingual manual. Some instructions on the remote control. Some instructions on assembly, which is what I need first, because I look exactly like that. Of course, last but not least, always the warranty card. So I don't know how you would have actually seen these instructions without getting past this step, because they're buried at the bottom. So it's actually pretty similar to the previous TVs I've done. Basically, you're supposed to have 2 people lift it up, and then you're supposed to put it face down on a table with like a towel or a blanket covering it so that it doesn't scratch, and then screw in the legs and, yeah, twist up your wires. So yeah, this is very similar to the Samsung one that I've done in the past. And last but not least, they tell you where all the plugs go, etc. And also this one has one button on the bottom. This is kind of annoying. It's actually identical to the Samsung also. There's only one button on the entire thing and it does everything, meaning it turns it on and turns it off, and it's also like hold it down and it turns into like a menu button and stuff. So it's actually kind of annoying. So if you lose the remote, you're kind of screwed. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Okay, since I don't have a bigger table, I'm just going to put it here on the table stand with a towel on top. So I'm going to try to lift it up, put it down there face down without dropping anything. Keep your fingers crossed. Oops. Okay, not too bad. It's actually not that heavy. So let's get these legs screwed on. They're actually different. There's an A and a B. So I guess one is the left and one is the right side. And these ones are marked 49 and 55. So I guess it's the same size leg, even if you get the 55-inch TV. Okay, so as you can see, there's basically 2 screw holes, and this is like a hook. So I think it goes in on this post, kind of locks in place, and then you screw in through those 2 holes. And this one is the A, and that's the B, and they're actually labeled here as well. So this is the B, A1 goes over here. So let's put this guy in place. So just put it in that post, get it in the hole, and then you gotta kind of lock it in. So just twist a little bit, and yeah, kind of snaps. Okay, so let's stand it up and take a look at the back. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here we are, a bit anticlimactic, I know. Not the fanciest one on the back, but whoever looks at the back, basically just have a power plug over here and the label with the serial number and all that. It's actually pretty sparse compared to a lot of TVs. 2 HDMI ins. This is 1 and 2 ARC, USB in, another USB in, I guess it's USB in 2. This is HDMI in 3, LAN cable, optical out for audio, I guess, digital out. And then you have this component one, and it's not the, it's not just the 3 colors, it's the 5 one. So audio and then 3 color components. And then we have an old school analog antenna, which is great that it still has that, I guess. Yeah, so that's basically it for the back. And if you do want to mount it to a wall, you have basically the mounting points here. So yeah, that's basically it for the physical features on the back. Let's take a look at the front. Okay, and here we are on the front. Yeah, it's got this plastic wrap on it. I don't know, I usually leave these things on until they fall off. Energy label I'm going to take off, I suppose. Just in case you're wondering, it uses 114 kilowatts annually, and then 123 centimeters screen size, efficiency index 0.26, whatever that means. Yeah, so this is, I guess on the grade, it's not the most efficient. It's definitely not the worst. Okay, just a quick note on the annual energy consumption. It's 114 kilowatt hours per year total, and at like 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Depends on where you live, of course. That's something like $11, $12 to run this thing for the whole year, which is about $1 a month, I guess. Yeah, so that's if you obviously put it on standby or use it to some normal degree. And as with all these things, if you're not going to be using it, I recommend like switching it off at the power strip or unplug it, because it's definitely using up stuff being passive, because this is a smart TV, so it's probably running all the time. So one quick note on the power lead. Obviously, because I'm in Hong Kong, we have the British plug. And also on this side, it is in fact a 90-degree bend. So that's good if you're going to be mounting on the wall. You don't have to worry about it poking the wall. So the problem is, I guess that might be hard to find a replacement. This is a standard size, like the figure 8, but obviously finding the 90-degree bend version, not so easy. But if you're just going to put it on a table like this, it doesn't really matter. And that's like a 3-foot or so cable. I should note that this is not the most stable of mountings. So yeah, I do have little kids, so who knows, I might end up being one of those viral videos where some kid knocks it over, throws a Wii remote into the screen or something. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's take a closer look at the Magic Remote. Yes, that's kind of a stupid name. It comes wrapped in some plastic, which you need to get off in order to get the battery out. And I'm not going to use the Bexel batteries. I happen to have some ones loose already, so let's start with these. Okay, so let's see if it works. Ah, there we go. Not too bad. So for better or for worse, it has like hard programmed in Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, movies. I don't know what all these other ones do. You can obviously read the instructions and figure it out, but should be pretty straightforward. It has a button for a set-top box as well. So because I'm in Hong Kong, it's all in Chinese, but luckily I can read Chinese, and it's asking me to hit the confirm button, which I guess is there. Oh, it is magic. Look, it's a mouse. And here I can change it to English. Okay, confirm my location and language settings. I am in Hong Kong. Use this TV as store mode. No, thank you. So we have no connections, unfortunately, but we can do AirPlay. We have no Wi-Fi also. So the store I bought the TV from included this premium kit, which includes a HDMI RF cable and cleaning set. So let's see what that is. Oh yes, I do have my antenna cable. And here is a fancy HDMI with the braided cord, which of course doesn't really do anything. I don't know if I recommend using this cleaning spray though, but if it came with a TV, must be good. So it claims that it is safety, alcohol-free, clean screen spray with microfiber cloth. That almost makes sense, but anyway, yeah. I guess it won't eat away because it's alcohol-free. Okay, I just got the antenna connected. Let's see how that works. Should find some channels. Found some programs. I wasn't sure if there was still any analog signals here in Hong Kong, but apparently there are. Certainly taking its time. I got some kind of cable TV. I don't even know that. Okay, well that took quite a while, but found something. Picture looks pretty good. Okay, so here you can see if you hit the home button, you get this menu of different options. So here in Hong Kong we have View TV, which is owned by PCCW, Prime Video, Netflix, Google Play Store, I don't even know what, Filmbox Live. You can get Spotify if you're a subscriber for music, I guess. I know they're doing podcasts soon. Some kind of sports alerts. It has a web browser, which obviously doesn't work because I'm not connected to anything. You can play photos and videos or music. I suppose this case, if you have USB connected with something, it'll probably work. You can customize and do settings. Let's try that. So your typical kind of settings. I turn the sound off just because I don't want to get any copyright matches. So also if you hit this guy, ADSAP, this ... menu, it brings up a side menu with a lot of different interesting things. So I guess you can record live TV, do captures. Oh, it's got little pop-ups too. And yeah, so if you have a USB memory stick plugged in, or maybe even an external hard drive, you can record stuff. Here's that schedule, which I looked at before. So I guess this is for doing secondary audio. So it mentioned that there was 32 digital TV channels, and I guess they're somehow spaced out like this. So I was just looking at the analog ones. Here we get to the digital ones. So you can see the quality is a lot better. Okay, even Bloomberg's here. Okay, so here you get an idea of what's on free-to-air digital TV in Hong Kong at 2:45 in the morning. So you might see a lot of artifacts on here. I don't blame the TV for that. I blame the signal because, I mean, who still uses the cable? So I was scrolling through the photo viewer, and there's some default pictures in here which are pretty nice. Really shows off the 4K quality, as you can see. Wow, I feel like I'm in Hawaii. I do have to say, the more that I use this, I find that like the display is a bit slow, including when you're switching between channels. So obviously there's some decoding going on and stuff, but in this case it's just, you know, pulling it from memory, so it shouldn't be this slow. Okay, so I think I figured out how to use the single button control. So if you hold it down, it pushes the button, and then you can do something with it, switch the channel in this case, and then if you hold it down, it basically goes to the next function where you can select, by clicking fast, you can select the different options. So anyway, that's what happens if your kid loses the remote. Okay, so here we have Shenzhen TV's test pattern. Okay, so that was a quick unboxing and walkthrough of the 49UN7100PCA from LG. What do I think about it? Yeah, it's not too bad. I wouldn't say that anything here screams better or higher quality than the Samsung NU7100, which I got a year ago. So is it worth the extra price? I don't know if I can really see a big difference on the screen or anything like that. So far not that impressed. I have to say this one actually looks a little bit thicker and maybe not quite as fancy. The stand doesn't really impress me. Another thing to note that I didn't mention before is this TV table is like 120 centimeters wide. So as you can see, because the stands are pretty far out in the corner, it's really using the full width, which also kind of scares me because, you know, someone could basically push it off the end of the table as well. So when I was looking at these TVs, I wanted something in the 49-inch range, and some of them have the stands way out at the corners, some of them have them more towards the middle. I guess this is more stable, but it's also threatening to fall off the edge of the table. So I have to say, I kind of do like the little mouse pointer on the screen. It does take a little bit of getting used to. I mean, I've only been using it for about 10 minutes, but there's always the danger that, you know, by the time you push the button, you're actually moving the pointer. But so far, so good. It's got the little wheel too, so I think it's hard to screw up too much. That's actually one thing that this one has that the Samsung doesn't, so I guess there's some good things too. So anyway, that's basically it. If you have any questions or feedback, leave it in the comment section below. Hopefully I can answer any questions you have. If I'm really unhappy with this thing, I might do a follow-up sometime in the future, but I haven't done one with the Samsung because I've actually been pretty happy with it. So anyway, that's it for today. See you guys next time. Bye. So while I was playing around with this, I noticed how many Chinese, mainland China TV channels that we have here. And I was wondering about that because, you know, usually, like, even in Hong Kong, they'll have, you know, official CCTV broadcast. But in fact, where I live right now, actually, Shenzhen is not that far. And this is like the cable from the building, which means there's an antenna for the entire building, which means I think we're actually picking up mainland China TV, which is why we have Shenzhen TVs 1 through 5. We have Guangdong TV. We have Guangdong, I don't know what that is, ZJ TV. We have Shenzhen TV 6, Shenzhen TV HD, which is what I'm watching right now, I guess. You can see we're in the middle of a typhoon warning. Yeah, so we got tons of China TV. We got Shenzhen TV MO5. I don't even know what these things are. Wow. Bonus. I got View TV also. I got View TV. I got so these are the Hong Kong ones now. Jade. I don't know what even some of these things are. But anyway, so that's great. Some kind of dramas. Yeah, and we're in T3 here. So anyway, that's it for today. That's a little addendum. So see you guys next time. You know, having the stroller with me all the time up in the overhead bin. As soon as we get off the plane, pull it out, unfold it, and walk off. You know, literally that could save you 15, 20 minutes right there.